utilization of volleying. We're going to be utilizing tennis rackets as well as pickleball paddles. We're going to have a couple games here, but before we start talking about the tasks, we're just going to run over a couple simple things about volleying. So a volley is used to just point the ball in the right direction. Really, it's a quick punch of the racket. There's limited follow through on this one as we're not trying to send it as far as possible. Really, this is more for accuracy and getting the ball to where we want it to be through a short distance. So a simple volley with a drop serve will just look something like that. All right. All you're doing is just placing the racket with a flat face right onto the ball. Okay, everyone got that? All right. Quickly, 2 grips that who here has taken racket sports before, or ever played a racket sport? No, recreational. Recreational, yeah. Have you ever held a tennis racket or pickleball? All right, that's good. So there's a couple. There's 2 grips that we want to focus on today. One grip is just going to be the continental grip. On a tennis racket, you have these ridges. They're called bevels. There's 8 of them. It goes in a clockwise rotation. Your continental grip is going to be on your second bevel, where your first knuckle from your index finger is going to lay. Just like this, with my hand at the bottom of the racket, like this. All right, so that's the grip that we want to use today for volleying. Okay. You also have an Eastern grip. If you feel more comfortable, you can move it down to the third bevel. Again, using our first knuckle at our index finger. Okay, and we could use that as well. All right, so that's what I'm going to be looking for. So make sure you are using the correct grip, whichever one feels more appropriate for you when volleying. Okay. Now we're going to go on to the game.
All right. So as you see, there are 4 different buckets. Over there are the tennis rackets, and right here are the pickleball ones. Okay, we're gonna separate everyone to like 5 per group. All right. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be volleying the ball to each other. You gotta connect at least 5 passes before trying to get the ball into the bucket. So as Patrick said, we're not doing a full follow through. It's more of just like a light punch to make sure the racket or the pickleball racket is face up. So I'm gonna volley it, Patrick, and then all right, you would have gotten that before. You gotta make sure you pass them around or make up your own formation to try and get the ball into the bucket. And further along we go, we're gonna try different modifications to try to see if you can make it from a further distance. All right, so we're just gonna count off by 4s. So you'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1s are in the far bucket. 2s right there in the middle. 3s right here, and then 1 over there.
Okay, so now that they're going to their sites, a few observations about that. The grip was perfect. I think that was very technical and very appropriate for the task at hand. Verbally, you did say what is needed in terms of the strike itself to make the volley. But then in terms of the demonstration, it was a one-time shot that was not successful. So points might be deducted there because of that. I don't understand why such a small bucket, very challenging. I want to say even unrealistic.
Make sure you're talking in between your groups with a strategy that's going to allow you to score as many points consistently after 5 volleys between each other without dropping the ball on the ground. You have to score on that 6th volley. You don't understand? Okay. When the music starts, you can begin.
The volley with the pickleball paddles is different than from the tennis rackets. So I'm not sure also why there is a difference in terms of half of the group with tennis rackets. Okay, keep the racket low. That's one. utilization level, because in this case they are in volleying with people. You can see that here is going on. The bucket is very, very tiny, so again, it's unrealistic. If anything, you just put a bigger hoop in there. They can open up their circle. So the demonstration needed to be better. Have a few volunteers demonstrate, try a few attempts and see if it makes it into the bucket. This bucket is a little bit better, it's a little bit wider. So again, I don't know why the difference, even though that these buckets are in the, with the racket that is a little bit more bouncier. But it's bouncier. Okay, now that's good in terms of the management of the group. But in terms of the direction, they're in a circle. Again, tennis. Why a circle? It doesn't. As I said in class, if you're going to do something at this in this type of sport, it's going to be a square, if anything. And then bring more buckets, because, for example, I see that group over there is of 5. I always have a group of 4, 2 and 2. Make it more realistic to the game. So I don't know why that was the case in terms of deciding to go with a circle. No, don't go with a circle. Keep it realistic with what happens in a game situation. In terms of the volley, you know how to direct it. It's good that you're going to have it low, okay, but what else? In the demonstration that didn't come across. So you know. Let's see.
I'm seeing a lot of rackets coming up above the waist level and above the head. Okay, this is something we want to avoid. Okay, the whole point of this volleying exercise is to volley at a low to mid range. Okay, we're trying to aim at something on the ground, get it into the bucket. That's your objective. Okay, so make sure we're focusing on keeping the ball low. Okay, who can tell me how we're going to do that? How we're going to keep the ball low? Gentle, right? So we're going to use less force than we think we need. Okay? What does that mean for our body placement? Am I going to be up on my tippy toes? No. I'm going to be lower. Make sure you bend your knees. Okay? You have to be in an athletic position. Ready to move. Shuffle to the side if you need to. Okay? Everyone understand? Yes. Okay, let's go again.
Okay, that was good, but what about direction? Right, also the demonstration. That needed to be in your demonstration as well. All of that. Okay, in terms of the strategy, if that's allowed, then that's up to the students' creativity to find out, you know, what is it. In this case, of course, if you want to be very, very technical in a game of pickleball, then that means that you have to make sure that this is something as low as that possible and close to the net, following the rule of the non-volley area. So you want to always associate it with what happens in gameplay. I'm not hearing cues from the teacher here, Haderson. So cues wise overall, since they're pretty much doing the same thing, I'm not hearing it for the class. What's the cue for the class? That stop and reinforcement and the information was good, but cues for the class, I didn't necessarily hear them. Not that ball that can break. Why that ball? That can break the racket. The strike. Exactly. Since this is a rally, not only you have to be square to your target, so you have to position your body so it's facing where you're going to be sending the ball. Position your body. Yes, it's going to be more of a strike on this side and less of a strike on this side because of the bounciness of the ball, right? Not sure why they're bringing bigger balls like that. Again, that can break the racket. That would be better. That ball with the texture and everything and the lightness is better. So that was a good change there. I have a bigger ball there. The pickleball is the same over there. This one I think is a heavier ball. This is more for lacrosse, I believe it is. So there's a little bit of change of equipment here. But again, I'm not hearing the cue overall for everybody. That is needed. In terms of the level, yes. In terms of the demonstration, observations, as I said. 3 more minutes. 3. 3. Okay, now that makes sense, because I was saying how come that one is reducing, because the strike is going to be different. So, and also that emphasis on the difference, I don't think also came across. With pickleball, you have to strike it. So in terms of the strike, it's a different type of strike when it comes to the racket, tennis racket, in comparison to the pickleball. So not to generalize it. I think there was too much of a generalization there. This is not the same strike. It's not the same volley. And again, let me just say something. When it comes to volley, we didn't necessarily emphasize volley when we talked about striking. That you took volleying as in striking. Well, okay, but it was volley as in volleyball. That's when we talked in the chapters about this. Volley came from the volleyball chapter, not from the striking chapter. But okay, I mean, count it, no problem. It's still proficiency, still utilization. Look presentable. The equipment was ready to be used, so all of those are good things about the lesson. But in terms of demonstration and cues, yeah, there are needs for improvement in those areas.
anyone tell me the difference of when you're volleying a ball compared to a ground ball? Like, what are you doing? What are you not letting the volley do? I suppose. When you're volleying, you don't want to let the ball touch the ground. You're hitting it right out of the air.
All right, what are the two grips that we went over today? Who can tell me? Continental and what? Eastern. All right, what bevel is the continental grip on?
Second.
Second. What's the Eastern?
Third.
Third.